question is whether we want to do a transplant or not. That's the first thing, because there are alternatives. So what are the challenges? A kidney transplant is presumed to be at a higher risk. It can, with COVID, it can have atypical presentations. There is a possibility of superadded infections. What to do about the immunosuppression? Do we change it? What about drug interactions in case the patient develops COVID? And then, of course, there was a possibility that all the drugs may not be available that we want to use during the lockdown time. So the first question that I want to address is whether we want to do kidney transplant or we want to wait. Because what are the alternatives that I have? Because we can always have the patient on dialysis. So we have a possibility of weighing on these two things, whether we go for a transplant or whether we go for a continue on dialysis. And the question is, we have to answer that. So because of the fear of COVID, there were several regulations that came in. Initially, it was the NOTO regulations. Most of the units closing their transplant program after May. But did this happen internationally? The answer is no, because we were bombarded with a lot of guidelines. And yet, people in Italy, if you look at 2015 to 2019, and in 2020, the number of transplants done during the COVID era were the same. But then you could ask, well, we don't want to follow the Italy program because we know there were so many mortalities. So that's not a good idea to follow. We could look at South Korea. Between Jan to April 2019, they actually overdid the transplant they did last year. So when we look back, it was not such a bad idea to continue the transplant. But then there was an alternative. And that is what the whole story was. So of all the patients who have been, the publications that have happened for hemodialysis and kidney transplant, let's look at that. International publications for hemodialysis and transplant. The mortality 31, 30, 13, and as yet unpublished data is between 12 and 15% in Mumbai. And kidney transplant, New York 20%, London 14%, US 7%, and we are part of a multi-center, more than 100 transplant patients of having COVID, and only 13% mortality. So yes, doing a transplant, even if you do get COVID, we have a better chance of survival than being on dialysis. So that rests the question. But the worst case scenario is if you do a transplant and you get a COVID-19, which should not happen in present scenario. But we have gone through the worst case scenario also. And our experience of 7 transplants during COVID era, 2 deceased donors, 5 live donors, actually got published in American Journal of Transplant. And we were the first ones in the world to tell the world it's not bad to do a transplant. If you get a COVID-19, all the 2 and the 3 patients that initially got COVID in the first 2 months actually made it. There was no mortality, and the renal functions today are normal. So first we have made a case that we need to do a transplant. Then how to do a transplant? Well, we have to carefully choose whom we take up for transplant as per our experience. So both the recipients and donors need to be counseled, educated. We need to have strategies to prevent infection. We have heard about it. We encourage everybody to follow these strategies, which is happening at Jaslok, and we ask for an isolation 14 days prior to a transplant in a home-based center. So at home, both the recipients and donor need to be isolated for 2 weeks, and then we need to test them twice. That will come to, and the same happens with the healthcare workers, because they should be COVID free, and there would be a COVID free transplant pathway which has happened in Jaslok. So the screening and diagnosis, which we have very well covered earlier, especially for the living donors. So if they are residing in containment zones, move out of it for 14 days, no travel to high risk areas, no contact with COVID-19 in the past 21 days. Obviously, there would be a clinical screening. There would be a lab screening, which includes at least 2 negative tests for SARS-CoV-2, with one within 3 days prior to transplant, and additional testing which may be done, and a CT scan of the chest if needed. If needed means at Jaslok we are doing it. Same happens for a diseased donor, in which additionally we may also do a ball sample which is negative, and then we take this donor as a possible donor. And then we come to the recipient. Like the donors, all the recipients have to have epidemiological, clinical, and lab screening. And for the diseased donor kidney transplant also, wherein there is less time, since we have in-house facilities for doing a swab, that is a big advantage at Jaslok, because we will do a swab before we go for a transplant. So the whole thing is, which all of this has been covered in our previous speakers, we have a disease-free, a COVID-free donor and a recipient, and a crucible, Jaslok, which can actually make it happen. What do we do with the immunosuppression? Do we, in case for older transplants, do we prophylactically reduce it? The answer is no. Yes, we have learned and we have published that the induction agent may need to be changed. The dose may be changed, though the triple immunosuppression remains the same. And in case there is a misfortune of having COVID-19 in early transplant, we also know how to manage that. So we have hands-on experience of doing transplants and even managing if the patient has COVID in the early transplant. So COVID proofing of the kidney transplant program at Jaslok: screening and lab testing, recipient, donor, healthcare workers, COVID-free pathways, pre-transplant isolation. We may not do is initially, because those are the patients, if they do get COVID outside in the community, because once they get discharged in 10 or 14 days, they can still get COVID, which one of our patients did get it. So we don't want to get into issues initially. Induction agent may change, and a strict vigil for post-transplant COVID-19 and a pre-discharge testing for COVID-19. So we just need to do the right thing at the right time. And I feel we have already COVID-proofed our KT program at Jaslok. We have already done transplants. We have had complications which we have managed, and these have been peer reviewed and agreed upon. Thank you.